today, three great things happened, right? So, first off, we hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, right? It's not a lot, right? It is not a lot, bro, but from me grinding this shit out pretty much every single day for the past 6 months, every single day, working for y'all boys and trying to get the best content out for y'all to help y'all on this journey, to inspire y'all. This is just big. Yeah, again, it's only 1,000 subscribers, bro. We are going to go a lot farther than this, but this is just one of the main milestones I wanted to hit, and we got it, bro. Within 6 months, 7 months, we hit it. So big things coming for this year. Aiming for 5,000 subscribers. I know we can do it. So yeah. Other than that, what else did we do? Right, we also hit 300 members in the Discord. It's also pretty nice. 250 would have been that next goal, but 300 is even better, bro. Aiming for 500 next, but man, we're growing all around. So we hit 300 today as we took a W trade. Right, we were patient today. We weren't, a part of the FOMO that we were dealing with last week. We didn't let that bother us. So we took a W, right? And so going into the market today, right, you can see that, let me turn off these real quick. You can see on the hourly that, oh shit, that we are obviously bearish, okay? And the reasoning for that is these gaps down, right? This is the new week opening gap. You can see that we gap down, very, very bearish, inverse in this gap. And we tried to retrace back up into it, and we filled a little bit of the new week opening gap and instantly started to reject off of it. Right, London, we did have a large move. Right, we dumped pretty much, I think, like 200 points, right, during London. So we did dump a decent amount in London. Again, just inversing these gaps, showing that order flow is obviously bearish on the high time frame. We are trending lower. And so when market opened at 9:30, I expected this hourly low, which was the 7th. That low, which I think that is the prior week low. Yes, the prior week low was targeted, as well as this daily gap, right? So looking at this daily gap as a possible target for the final liquidity. Once this was hit, done for the day, right? Done for the day unless we have an insane flip higher. Really wouldn't know what would be a target after reaching, 400 points down. We dumped a lot today. So, yeah, and once we even met that point, we just dumped straight through the, whatever it's called, the daily BISI. So, we pretty much dumped like a solid 700 points today, which is absolutely nuts. Okay, so the trade that I took, okay, we had, again, obviously a good displacement lower, right? And going on the 1 minute, going on the 1 minute, you could see that market opened at 9:30 right here, and we've got to push lower. And this is a push higher that a lot of people got faked out on, right? People that just take inverses mechanically, taking the trade possibly like this, targeting this high right here, just doesn't make much sense, right? Because it's not, with the high time frame trend. Okay, we also inverse this 5-minute gap. Okay, we inverse this 5-minute gap, and a lot of people might have taken this inversion long, right? I know a few people that actually did. And, the reasoning for why it lost was because the high time frame trend was lower. No, there's nothing to target higher really, right? So that we held that 5-minute gap. So I started looking for shorts, and we got this very, very clean inversion, right? We had this clean inversion right here on the 1 minute. And, I just don't like how we had this huge rejection. I would have possibly, and I wasn't really thinking about entering around down here if it did close down here, because that is just a kind of a mid entry, to be honest, if it closed all the way down here. Because it's just kind of late at that point. And same thing with this one. Like, I wouldn't want to enter in this trade and it just be a 1R. I would rather wait for a retracement. That's just a deep entry, just a little too far down. So that's why I waited for price to retrace back up, rebalance this BPR, and a BPR is pretty much a fair value gap within a fair value gap. So we have a fair value gap here. We inverse that fair value gap, and we left another fair value gap in between it. So this is a BPR, a balanced price range. So very, very strong. Price ran up into it. And this is hindsight, but you can see how bodies how bodies respected it perfectly, right? The wicks did the damage, right? We retraced up into this top fair value gap. Okay, and this is why having a safe stop is always so important. Okay, let's not even look at the BPR for right now. Okay, just looking at these two fair value gaps, okay? When there is two fair value gaps like this, all right, you can always enter off of this bottom one. You can wait for the rejection, whatever. That's what I did. I waited for the close, right? Because I made a mistake last week of not waiting for closes, and that's what kind of led me to FOMO and just bad trades and just early trades. I just want to catch the move. I didn't want to be bluffed out. So now I got a new rule. Got to wait for the close. So we got a beautiful reaction on this 1 minute, tapping into the consequent encroachment of this 1 minute gap, right? This 1 minute SIBI. We got a beautiful reaction from it. So once it closed, I entered right about here, and price started to shoot lower. Okay, but looking at the gaps in general, right? Looking at these gaps, right? You could enter off of this top one. Yes, this would have been a beautiful entry, right? Very, very good RR. Very good RR, right? But at the same time, you're taking the risk of price just completely missing that out and just being very, very bearish, tapping into this gap and just instantly dumping. Okay, so it's always smart unless it's like there's a huge dump and there's multiple gaps just spread out, just to enter off the bottom one, right? Enter off the bottom one and put your stop above the gaps, okay? Because you never know. Enter off of this gap, okay? But always put your stop above the gap above it, okay? In this scenario, the gap above it, you want to have that protected stop because it doesn't have to hold this one. It could inverse this one and then end up holding this one, right? And then shoot lower, kind of like with what happened on the 5 minute, right? So always have that protected stop. So I put my stop right here at these body closes at the top. It's order block holding, as well as these breaker blocks. Okay, this is called a unicorn, right? I just noticed this, right? Just noticed this, that this was also a unicorn setup. I don't take unicorns, but this is a unicorn. We had this breaker block, right? And we also had this fair value gap. So this is a unicorn setup. Okay, so perfectly aligned. This is a beautiful, beautiful setup, right? And I enter off of this close. Okay, I enter off this close, and price runs up higher, and then beautiful 60-point dump right here, right? Went to break even at this low, and price continued lower. And this is where I was contemplating trading all the way down to the daily BISI, which is the final draw on liquidity. Okay, we do not have to reach down to that daily BISI. We do not have to. Okay, and that's why a lot of people miss out on trades, right? They're going to target the entire move, expecting the entire move to play out, right? And yes, it would make sense for us to run down to that daily BISI, but we could easily hit this hourly low, run higher, stop me at a break even, run a little bit higher or whatever, or just continue to just chop in this area and then continue lower. Okay, but I extended my stop loss all the way down, or my take profit all the way down here to the daily BISI after seeing how fat we displaced and how bearish it was. I didn't doubt that we were going to continue lower, but with this rejection right here off of this prior week low, that wick right there and that close, I just didn't like it. Right, I was in the middle of the execution and I was thinking about, if this closes below the low pretty cleanly, like right about here, I'm holding the trade. Okay, I'm putting my stop loss above this fair value gap, and I'm holding the trade. Okay, but we ended up having that nasty wick, so I got out pretty much at a 1.6R. Right, so very, very clean trade today. So yeah, pretty proud of myself again after such a rough week last week, and the market starts really, really testing me. Made a few mistakes that I've really haven't made a lot of when it comes to emotional trading. So last week it really just woke me up to me needing to really be serious, if that makes any sense, bro. Dang, about my emotions and regulating my emotions in the marketplace, right? Because typically, I'll take a loss and it's all good. But last week it was so rough. 3 losses in a row, almost blowing my funded account. Right now we're slowly stacking it back up. But I mean, all 3 accounts, man. Like, it was just a very, very rough week last week. So we have some new rules in place that will help me a lot more with trading my model, and I'm more clear on my model and what I need to exactly look for. But with what I've been trading these past few weeks, I've kind of went off the path of what my model actually is. So now I'm waiting for more confirmation. Okay, waiting for more confirmation off my setups. So that's going to help me in the long run. That's going to help me a lot more. So yeah, going into this week, already off on a good note. We are going to continue this ball rolling forward, and we're going to continue taking solid setups and focusing on just the process, bro. Instead, I'm just so focused on the money. I know that I'm this close to getting some payouts, man. I'm 3 winning days in. I can get a payout. I can get 2 more wins, and I can get a payout, right? I gotta stop focusing on that though. I gotta stop comparing myself to others. I gotta stop focusing on the money, 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 and instead just focus on, okay, is this a good trade? Is this good confirmation? Is this a good setup? And then go from there. And I promise you, if you focus on that, if I focus on that, we will get results over time. Right? So hopefully you boys enjoyed today's video. Thank you guys for all the support. 1,000 subscribers. Again, not a huge goal in the grand scheme of things. We are going to go a lot farther than that. But this is just the beginning, and it's just a good reminder of consistency. So again, hopefully y'all boys have a blessed day. If y'all want to join in the Discord, we do not signals, but I give my bias every single day and try to explain like what my thought process is going into the marketplace, and as usual, call it out where price is going, where I'm expecting it to go, and play it out beautifully. So again, if y'all wanted to look into this, y'all can join in the description, completely free. So yeah, hopefully y'all have a blessed day, and I'll see y'all boys tomorrow. Peace out.